What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy C-Dub, aka Crit Whit, and hey, we got little FLOJOS 86 about to go down. So let's get right into it. All right, so we're here on Telegraph Canyon Road, and we're making our way eastbound towards Highway 94. And right now, I'm just sitting out to the left of a few riders, and this group ride is a lot more unique in essence of I don't know everybody riding this training ride, so we're gonna have fun while I do this commentary. But if you look in the rear camera, you see John Sugar Bay. He's coming up on me. I think he came in late, so he hustled and bustled and caught up with the group, and we're on our way in. So you see right here, we're about to hit our first climb, and tempo dropped down just a little bit to 24, 23, 22. We were going, a minute ago, we were going about 32 miles an hour. Now we're climbing. You see it's 2%, 3%, and on up. And so everybody's out of the saddle. Some people are climbing this thing, just kind of trying to keep that momentum to make it over. I'm out to the left due to my momentum had carried me up. So now I'm tucking back in, sitting on one of the Baja California guys. He actually rode in with Alejandro, and we hooked up with those guys just outside of the neutral zone. So right now, tucked in, you still see in the rear camera that John is on my wheel with another guy. So pretty much right now, I'm at the back, not near the back, but I'm actually at the back of the peloton of the group. And now you see moves are starting to be made. So right now, going around Perry, Dave, Ron, and I'm just drafting this guy in the Baja jersey with the blue jersey, black bibs. I'm just drafting him, and you'll see he's probably in majority of the footage. I followed him and Alejandro, which also is wearing the same exact kit. Right now in the rear view, you have Perry drafting me. He's rocking that new Stormtrooper Paddock Racing Team kit designed by Nooks. That's a stellar kit there, Nooks. Thank you so much for the beautiful design. I can't wait to get mine. But right now we're going. You see my heart rate's at 156, so it's pretty good. We're going 20 miles an hour, so nothing too fast. Here we go, up another little climb here. There's Ron Tello in the FLOJOS kit, and Ron is just really getting back in to cycling. He took probably a few weeks off, maybe even a month off, but now you see I'm up pulling. I jumped to the front, and this is something that my trainer really wanted me to work on, or my coach really wanted me to work on, is getting up to the front and making some effort. So we see here Perry has pulled through, John has pulled through, so we got 3 PRT guys up to the front right now. And if you look right up the road, just to the left of John, you see a little breakaway. So there's currently a breakaway, I believe, of probably like 6 guys, and they were doing pretty good. So now you see Perry pulled off, and now I'm on John's wheel. He tapped his butt, which means pull up, get on my draft. We're going, we're making a move. So I jumped on his wheel, and then he jumps off, again, pull for a few seconds, move over, let the next man pull. So I pulled through again. And as you see, I have the Baja guy. He's in my rear view. So right now, I'm just bridging this gap. So I'm pushing 29 miles an hour. We're going downhill. As you see there, negative 1% grade. Pushing out just over 130 watts, 27 miles an hour. Now there's Alejandro. So Alejandro comes up. We all jump on his wheel. I'm actually falling back because I just got through pulling. So I'm looking for a spot to jump in, and everybody's coming up. So here's Ron on my right, and I jump on his wheel while Sugar Bay is still on my wheel, and we're just making our way forward. I believe Perry is back there. Yeah, Perry is behind John, and we're making our way on up around the lower Otay Reservoir, which is the body of water to our right. So we're in for 20 minutes and 47 seconds. So I ask that you guys would just hunker down and bear with me. Also will ask, if you're watching this, you're not subscribed to this channel, that you would take the time to hit that subscribe button. Also, do me a favor, hit that notification button, and what that does is that will let you know every time I upload a video that your boy C-Dub has uploaded something to give you for your viewing pleasure. All right, so you see everybody, we're all tucked in here, and we're just pace lining, we're just drafting whomever's up front, and you still, if you can look up there, you still see that breakaway. The breakaway's still away, you know, they're still broken away. We're chasing them down. Right now, there's not a lot of rotation going on, and we're just making our way up the road. We have a little bit of way to go, so we're, you know, just all tucked in. You know, we're moving 28 miles an hour, and we're just making our way. And a lot with this, because a lot of people know that it's a long stretch, a lot of people will sit in and try to draft as long as they can before having to pull. Some guys will go for moves and try to bridge up, and you'll see a little bit of that later as we get closer to the actual final FLOJOS sprint. So right now, not a lot's going on. Everybody's just drafting and probably trying to recover. You see my heart rate is doing pretty good. My heart rate's 162, and so doing pretty good. I was tired because the day prior I did 57 miles. After doing the donut ride, I totaled out to have 57, almost 58 miles yesterday. So just a little tired. So tried to sit in as long as I could. But as you'll see, you know, it's wise to go with moves when they happen. All right, so you see there's a breakaway right here. Either they're breaking away in front of Ron. Ron puts a little power down, trying to close that gap up. We got a few guys to the left. The guy up front where you can't really see because of the rear view camera, that's Alejandro with the light blue bike. That's him to my left right now. And so again, we're actually passing Skydive on our right-hand side. So Skydive, Chula Vista is right there on the right-hand side. So you see that the speed, the tempo is picking up a little bit. We're going 29 miles an hour. Whomever's up front, they're pulling pretty hard. You see guys rotating through, so they're dropping back. There's Dave right there on the left dropping back because he probably just got done pulling. You see we're hunkered down and we're pushing. This is a 5% grade right now, so we're going 20 miles an hour. Bodies are hunked in. Now you see there's another little breakaway up in front of the navy blue kit. There's another little breakaway. It looks like about, I'm not sure if that's the original group or if that is another group. I can't remember right now. But you see John, he's out of the saddle, and he's trying to close that gap down as well, trying to come up to the front to help out. And of course, what we should do is jump on that wheel. There again, Alejandro's coming up, and then the guy that's wearing the same jersey. So I jump on that move because they're moving up. So I jump on that to make my way up. You see we're going 36 miles an hour. And yes, we're going downhill, -2%. So we're making our way on up. And again, I'm drafting this guy with the Baja kit and coming up on John, who did a marvelous job trying to bridge that. But again, those guys were, I think, working together well. But here we go, we catch them. It's 1%, 2%, 3% grade, up to 6, 8%, 9. Wow, this is pretty steep, so it slowed them down a lot. So we actually made the move at a perfect spot because the grade went up to 10%. There's Alex, my friend with the red Trek bike right there. So we're going up this thing. You see how the tempo has slowed down drastically. We're going 19, 20 miles an hour. And you see Alejandro is signaling to his buddy, come on, come on, come on. So I saw that. But again, we're just going up that climb. I wanted to tuck in, but you see a move. So Alex kicked it, and you see there's another little break up the road in front of Alex, and he's going after that. And he was trying to bring his buddy up. But his buddy wasn't able to hang on, so he kind of just sat in. And again, I jump on his wheel, and he's going to signal me through here momentarily. And I could have sat on his wheel, but I went ahead and I pulled. So he's signaling me on, I'm pulling through. So now I got my hand on the top of my hoods of my shifters, and I'm in my arrow position, and we're going after it. So I'm going 26 miles an hour. Pushing out over 400 watts, and got my cadence up pretty high. It's in between 90 and 100, which is good. And I'm bridging this gap. Got a guy on my wheel. He wouldn't pull through for nothing, but it's all right. You know, he's probably recovering as well. He just looked over his left shoulder to see if anybody was coming over the top of him. Nobody's there. You see, I think we got a little break in the back. Yeah, there's a little break there, so not too many people. But if you see here, I have bridged this gap. I catch up with these 4 guys, and these guys were broke away for a while. The one guy on the right I just passed with, the white and pink stripe with the navy blue kid, he had an Iron Man tattoo, and so I figured he had some good TT power in his legs for being probably a triathlete. But here we go. We're all bunched up again. We're here with Alejandro, with his buddy, and then another gentleman up here. So we're up at the front. See everybody behind me. Got a CFT guy. You see Sugar Bay back there with that orange helmet on in the rear view camera, and we're just pushing. You know, we're just going, doing what we're doing, and trying to get this momentum going. Again, people are trying to recover, but we're trying to keep it pushing. This guy to my left in the Rosa bike, he led the way a lot of the neutral zone, so I figured he was pretty strong. He was also in that initial breakaway, so very, very strong guy. He's probably the reason why the tempos went up high from the beginning, due to they having that breakaway. So you see him there in the rear view camera with the white jersey, black bibs. But yeah, those guys really seem to be really seasoned and caused this ride to be really, really well, at least from the gun. So we got Alex up front right now, and then his buddy. Sorry, man, I don't know your name yet. I know I'll probably will find out after the upload of this video. The FLOJOS with commentary 1.0, and yeah, so then I know your name. So we're up here in the front. Alejandro pulls over, his buddy pulls over, not really pulling through. So I pull through, staying close to the white line, and I just pull through. And you see again the guy that's been riding my wheel is still riding my wheel. You know, but it's okay. So going 23 miles an hour, pushing over 250 watts, got my RPMs up to 100. So we're just moving. We're kind of going a little downhill, I think, right here. And now I move out to the left, flick my wrist or my elbow so that they will pull through. So there you go. Now I got these guys pulling through. Pace line is happening. And yeah, so I'm dropping back, trying to find an opening to jump in there. I think Alex, which you see in my rear view camera, he was like, get in, get in, get in. So I jumped in again behind his buddy with the same jersey he has on. So as I told you guys before, he's going to be in a lot of this footage, and that's just the way that it kind of happens. So we're pushing our way on. You see here we're hammering. Speeds are up to 25, 26. My heart rate's up to 175. Still pushing out over 350 watts, well into the 400s, 500 now. Out of the saddle, trying to catch up, and the reason being is because we're coming up on like the halfway point, which is Pio Pico. So a lot of guys start making moves and getting real antsy once we get around Pio Pico, because we're almost to the finish. So you see here, there's a little gap in front of me. My heart rate's up to 178, but the guys up front, they're not really pulling any harder. So with me just going at my normal tempo that I was going, I catch back up. So good thing there was no headbangers up here to really drive this the pace even faster, because I may have missed out. But we're still going. I'm at the front of this again. You got guys on my wheel trying to close this gap down. And there's just a few guys ahead of me, as you see here. Just 3 guys. There's Ron. Ron is a very strong rider. I know he's going to be fantastic once he gets his fitness back. And that's one thing about cycling, and this is with anything. If you don't use it, you lose it, you know. And I think he took maybe a month or 2 off or something like that, and so he lost a little bit of his fitness. But Ron is a very strong rider, one that I actually admire when I first met him, because you know he just looked like a big guy to me, and very strong and very fast. So sitting up here to the front, I'm actually third wheel right now. So you got the guy to the left, then I'm on the Baja jersey guy. And I'm actually sitting in third position, second position, however you want to look at that. And you see everybody tucked in behind me. Well, here I am again, up to the front, pulling. And that's one thing. I'm happy to be able to do these efforts. I'm happy to be able to get up front. And actually, there's a little gap which I didn't even know that there was coming up on Pio Pico. So there's a little gap between me and Alejandro. But of course, it closes down. I move over to the left, and he comes underneath me. Again, with just the cycling etiquette, flip your wrist or flip your elbow. Guys come underneath, or guys and gals come underneath to do their pull. All right, so here we go again, looking for somewhere to tuck in. You see there Perry behind me. He left a little gap. So again, look whose will I jump on. Couldn't do anything about it. I'm just trying to get in where I fit in, and behind this guy is where I guess I fit in for most of this journey. All right, so we see there Alex up front. He's actually resting. He just got done pulling. Now he's falling back, and we're getting it in again. So we got the pace line going. Got Perry in my rear view mirror, or my rear view camera, and we're just making our way. 24 miles an hour, and of course, because this is a longer ride, almost 20 miles one way, people get tired after a while. So we're still pushing on, and Perry's sitting close. The big guy, I think he wanted to get back on my wheel with the black Rafa jersey, or Rafa vest. He wanted to get back in on my wheel because he sat there for a good bit of this ride. It wasn't getting in. Perry wasn't letting them in. But, you know, we all out here trying to find good position and get good training. All right, there's Sugar Bay dropping back, just got done pulling. So here we go again, up to the front. And this guy kept pulling off. Like, he wouldn't pull long. Like, he would get to the front and then pull off really quickly. So we see here we got the time trial guy. I think he had a tri-bike, and he pulled away. And I'm up to the front, and I was like, I'm not going to dig any deeper to try to really chase this guy down. So he got a little decent gap on us, but I do believe that Alejandro came back up to the front and shut that down pretty quickly. So this guy was pulling away. Everybody's just sitting on my wheel. So right now, I'm second wheel. I flip my elbow, move over, and there Perry goes. And there's some different people coming on up to the front. So, and there's a little gap right there in front of the Baja Kit guy. Here's Alejandro. So Alejandro's coming back up to the front, and he's making a move. I should have jumped on his wheel when he did that. But you see I was close to the back. You see Ron Tello in the rear view. And there's a few other people back there trying to hold on. And I'm pretty much at the back of the peloton right now. And I should have jumped on Alejandro's wheel when he came over the top of me, because he had good momentum. It would have taken a minute sprint just to jump on his wheel, but instead, you know, you live with the decisions that you make. So I went all the way to the back. Now I'm at the back of the peloton right now. As you see, excuse me, you see Perry, he fell all the way back he's at the back of the group, especially since now we're past Pio Pico, and everybody knows, you see everybody really hunkering in and people coming out of saddles, really putting out some watts. Reason being is because we're coming up on the end of this ride, and it is getting very, very close. We're getting very close to Highway 94. So you got 3 guys behind me and everybody else in front of me. So I know that we're coming close, and there's going to be a move here pretty soon. And I think I'm going to go with it, or I'm going to make a move. See, I'm out to the left near the double line, and you see how everybody's kind of scattering out right now because, you know, people are trying to figure out who's going to pull, who's got more power to pull through. But there is a break up the road, and I believe that is Alejandro, and I'm not sure who it is up there with him. All right, so you see we got a little break right here. If you look behind me, there's a break. There's a lot of road in between me and the riders, and we're making our way up. So there's a break. There. You see these guys on the left behind the guy he tucked in behind the navy blue kit. He tucked in behind them, but looked like they were about to make a move. And he tucked in. I jumped on his wheel. And so now we're moving up. We're getting closer and closer to Highway 94. We're getting closer and closer to the end. There's a guy, I thought it was Ron, but it wasn't him. Different guy. Ron has a yellow helmet on. But anyway, we're punching up. You see power is up over 250. My heart rate's 175, which is decent. My max heart rate is 195. So I'm still 20 beats less than that, which is actually pretty good. And we're going 27 miles an hour. All right, so now we see everything is kind of opening up. So I move over. Here's the move I was talking about. I move over, and look who's getting on my wheel again. So all right, so I move up, I pass a couple of guys, and I thought John was going a little bit, like he was closing it down a little bit faster, but I think Ron went, and so I jumped on John's wheel, which is totally fine. He's a very strong rider as well. All these guys are strong. I mean, they wouldn't be able to do these rides without being strong. And there's Alex. He's dropping back. He's been up at the front most of this ride. All right. There's another guy I could have, that's the big guy that's been drafting me the whole time. So I'm sitting here on Sugar Bay's wheel, knowing we're coming to the final sprint, the final leg of this. I'm out the saddle right now, just trying to keep on his wheel. And the guy up in the Raffle Key, he looks back, and I start going for it. So I move around Sugar Bay, John, and now this guy's out of the saddle. I'm out of the saddle. I'm pushing out over 700 watts. And yeah, he gets me right at the line. That is FLOJOS 86. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. On to the next one with your boy, C-Dub, a.k.a. Crit Whit. Peace.